Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to cut and sew a bubu dress or a kaftan dress with a v-neck and also fringes at the down part of it. Now if this is a video you're interested in, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. So for this tutorial, I'll be making use of this Ankara fabric, and it is 3 yards of Ankara fabric, and I'll be making use of about half yard of crepe, black crepe. Now if you have anything lesser than half yard, it's still going to be perfect because we are not going to be using any much material from this crepe. Now the next thing we'll be making use of is our fringes. I got this for about 1,005 per yard, and I got about one and a half yard because I don't want a situation where it wouldn't go around our dress. So it's better you have excess than not having something that will be enough. So let's get down to our drafting. So basically the first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and fold my fabric into two equal parts. Now note that the side I'll be working with will basically be from here and not from the normal Ankara length. So I'll be folding it into two first vertically, making sure that the two open sides are equal. Now after folding these two edges together, I'm just going to go ahead and now fold it from the sides again and not from the length. So I'm just going to go ahead, this closed edge, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this side over to the other side as you see me doing. So basically after I was done folding my fabric into four, as you can see, here is the open edges. Now the measurements I'll be taking from will be from this folded part of our fabric. Now we are going to go ahead and get our shoulder measurement divided by 2. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is shoulder 16. So 16 divided by 2 is actually 8 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 8 inches over here. Now for our neck width, I'll be working with 3 inches. For the neck width, both the front and the back, and the depth will be 2 inches. So remember we are cutting the front and the back together, so we'll just go with 2 inches for now. Then after we'll separate the front piece away from the back piece. Now from our shoulder measurement we got, I'm just going to go ahead and determine the length of my sleeve. Now for me, I think I'll be going with the whole sleeve, so I have about 14 inches here. I'm just going to go ahead and mark down 14 inches. So from this shoulder length that we got earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and come down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. So from this 1 inch I came down, now I'm just going to go ahead and join it back to our neckline. Now after that, from the 1 inch shoulder slope that we took earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and determine how wide I want my sleeve measurement to be. So for me, since it's a bubu dress, I'll be coming down by 12 inches. 12 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and strengthen this sleeve length that we have all the way down to the round sleeve. Now after that, I'll go over to the center of our dress. Now since the biggest part of my body is my hip measurement, I'm going to go ahead and divide the hip measurement I'm working with, which is 42 inches. I'll divide it by 4, so I should be having about 10 and a half. Now remember that the sleeve length that we are working with is, the round sleeve measurement we are working with is 12 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark 12 inches starting from the shoulder measurement. Now from these 12 inches we marked earlier, I'm just going to impute the 10.5 inches that we got, which is our round hip measurement divided by 4. So I'll go ahead and mark this down. Then after marking the exact measurement, I'll be adding extra allowances to my dress. So I'll be adding extra 5 inches to this dress to make it free, since it's a bubu dress. Then I'll be using 1 inch for the sewing allowance, and I'll be left with 4 inches. Now after that, I'm just going to go ahead and connect this round sleeve measurement that we had all the way to this new line that we got. Just watch the way I'm doing it. So this is what it should be looking like. Now before we extend the line all the way down, we are going to go ahead and determine the length of our gown. Now remember that we have a fringes. So first of all, I'll bring out my fringes and measure the length. So basically for these fringes, it's about 20 inches long. 20 inches long. Now for the length of our dress, we are going to be subtracting 20 inches away from our full length. That's to say, since I'm working with length 65 inches for my full dress, I'll be subtracting the length of the fringes, which is 20 inches away from the 65 inches. So I think I'll be left with 45 inches. So from this shoulder line, I'm just going to go ahead and mark 45 inches all the way down to my fabric. Now after marking the full length of this bubu dress, I'm just going to go ahead and connect this line that we had earlier all the way down to the length of this bubu dress. Now this is what we have after drafting it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. So after cutting this out, this is actually what I'm left with. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove one piece away from the other. So after separating one piece away from it, I'll be using this one I have here for my front piece. So I'll just go ahead and arrange it. Now for the front piece, we know that the neck is a V shape. So to get our V neck, I'm actually going to determine how deep I want it to be. So for me, I think I'll be going down by 8 inches. 8 inches. Now you can choose to go down with more inches or less depending on how you want it to be. So on this 8 inches line that I marked earlier, I'm just going to go in by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So basically after that, I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this 1.5 inches that we got all the way to the neck width that we got earlier. So basically this is what we are left with. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. Now after cutting out our front piece, opening it up, this is basically what it is looking like. This is what it's looking like. So the next thing I'm just going to do now is to go ahead and cut out our crepe for the neckline. So for the crepe neckline, I went ahead to cut out this little piece, and the length of this piece is about 14 inches. It should be longer than your front neck depth. So remember, our front neck depth was around 8 inches, but I chose to do 14 inches, and the width while it's not on fold is 6 inches. So approximately, after folding this black crepe that we're using to place on the front, it should be about 3 inches wide. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and apply my stay on the wrong side of this crepe. I'll go to apply stay. Then after applying stay on it, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it this way, and also press it down to be able to give it a relaxing state while sewing it on our fabric. After applying my stay to my crepe fabric, I also went ahead to iron it, and this is what it is looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the front piece of my dress. I'm just going to bring the front piece and attach this piece that we cut out earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and attach it this way. Now the open edge, the open side is actually facing the rough side of our neckline, so I'm still going to do the same thing here. I will attach it here. Now I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and use about half of an inch to stitch down here all the way down to where this mark stopped, and also do the same thing for this side. Done stitching this piece that we have here down to the main fabric, and this is what it is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and notch this place a little bit with about 2.5 inch or so, to be able to enable us flip this over. So after notching it open a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this side inside of this fabric, just like you see me doing. So I'll flip this side and also flip this side too inside it, just the way I'm doing. Now after flipping this over, this is what is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and iron this out. So basically, after ironing it out, this is what it is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to the wrong side, holding it the way I placed it earlier. So I'm just going to turn it over to the wrong side, and I'll go over to my sewing machine just the way it is sitting inside. I'm just going to go ahead and make a stitch over the two lapses together. So after I went ahead to stitch down this area, as you see me do here, I had excesses below our wrong side of our dress. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out these excesses. Now after cutting out the excesses, turning it over to the right side, this is what our neck area is looking like. Now after having this for our front piece neckline, the next thing I'm just going to do is to go ahead now and bring the back piece and actually do a turn up for the neck area. After turning the neck area up, I'm just going to go ahead and place it right side facing each other with the front piece, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch down the shoulder, starting from this point, and stitch down the shoulder with about half of an inch. So basically, after I was done joining the shoulders to the shoulder measurement, I noticed that I had a little bit of excess at the sleeve because of the new neck area we had. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off to correspond with the front piece. I'm just going to go ahead and stitch down the sides with about 1 inch all the way down to the full length of this dress. So basically, after joining the sides, I went ahead to flip it to the right side, and this is what it is looking like. So we're almost halfway done with this dress. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and measure the round sleeve measurement that we have left here after joining the sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure from the shoulder line that we have here all the way back to the shoulder line, just the way I'm doing. Now for this shoulder measurement, I have exactly 21 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out a band just like we saw on the photo. Now I went ahead to cut out 2 bands, one for the right side of the sleeve and one for the left side of the sleeve. And remember that the round sleeve measurement we had was 21 inches. So here is 21 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and add extra 1 inches to it, making it 22 inches. Now this 22 inches is because we will be joining the 2 sides together. Just watch what I'm going to do. So I'll go ahead and mark 22 inches and cut it out. So I'll just use this one and replace it. Now for the width of this band, it is 3 inches on fold. Then while not on fold, it is actually 6 inches. As you can see, it's on fold. And I also went ahead to apply my hairstay to it. So after that, we've added extra 1 inches to it. So I'm just going to go ahead to my sewing machine and use half of an inch. I just joined the 2 opening. Now after joining the sides of this band with about half of an inch, this is what it is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over to the right side and flip this too over to the right side. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring my fabric. I'll be turning it over to the wrong side. Now after turning this over to the wrong side, I'm just going to go ahead and bring one of the bands that we had earlier. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to place this band right now. I'm just going to go ahead and place this band on our sleeve. Now it's going to be the right side of the band, not the rough side that has this joining. So it's going to be the right side of this band facing the wrong side of our dress. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this band this way, starting from the side that we joined. I'm just going to make sure that this place we joined to is on the same line. So I'm just going to go ahead and use about half of an inch to sew it all the way around to the sleeve of our dress, and I'll also do the same thing for this sleeve. Now after attaching the sleeve to our dress, turning it over to the right side, this is what it is looking like. So this is what your sleeve area should be looking like after sewing it down. So the next thing I'm just going to do now is to go ahead and flip this sleeve over this way, as you can see me doing. So I'll go ahead and flip it. Now after this tutorial, I'll just go ahead and iron it down. Now some people might just choose to go ahead and top stitch their band to their dresses, or even make a stitch on this shoulder area to keep it intact. You can actually do any one that works for you. but for me, I think I'll just be making one line stitch at the shoulder line of this band to make it stay intact. So I'm just going to go over and do the same thing to this side. Flip it over like this, leaving the inner edge to be looking this smooth. So I'll still go ahead and iron it out. Now we are done with the neck and the sleeve area of this dress. So the next thing we are going to do now is to go ahead and attach our fringes to this dress. So now make sure that all the full line edges of this dress is equal. Now before attaching the fringes, I'm just going to go ahead half of an inch and fold the edge of this dress all the way around of the fabric. Now I'm actually done folding the hem of this dress, as you can see. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring my fringes. I'll bring my fringes. So the next thing I'm actually going to do is to place my fringes under, these fringes under the folded edge of this our dress. I'm just going to place it this way under it. This is what it should be looking like. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make a top stitch to join the fringes and the fabric together. So this is actually what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it till it gets all the way around of our fabric. So basically, as I was done attaching the fringe to our dress, this is what it is looking like. So the fringes is not going to stand until you wear it. So this is just the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. See you in our next video. Bye.